I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. This is Tarot the Stash Way. Here we go. Tarot the Stash Way. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you know when I'm going live. And today we are continuing our conversation about the majors. And for those of you who are just joining, I am glad you're here. I will do my darndest to keep up in chat. And I also am encouraging people to, there is a playlist below, which is all things Tarot the Stash Way. So you can catch up and do all of that. So it's nice to see you. So Tarot the Stash Way, there's a lot of resources out there, people. A lot of wonderful, wonderful resources, and I'm glad to be part of it. And I want to help you expand your tarot understanding. And a couple of things that I usually do when I start a session of Tarot the Stash Way is I talk about books that are really good resources. And I suggest that you pick a book that resonates with you and then pick a book that challenges you a little bit. I think everybody knows which one resonates with me. I really like the Robin Wood Tarot, the book by Robin Wood. This is one that I used a lot as I learned, and I continue to learn. And I also use the Holistic Tarot by Benebell Wynn. This is a chunky book, lots of good information. So keep that in mind. And as everyone knows, know your limits, purchase responsibly. You do not need to purchase a book in order to learn tarot. You don't. There are a lot of really, really good books out there. Mary K. Greer, Tarot for Yourself, 78 Degrees of Wisdom by Rachel Pollack. A lot of decks come with really helpful tarot books to understand. So it's absolutely wonderful. I do suggest you have a notebook so you can take notes in it. I have a 3-ring binder and I have all sorts of notes and I continually write on them as I am learning and growing and evolving my understanding. And so when you are doing this, do it the way that works for you. The notebook has to be practical, usable, inspiring, and you have to be willing to make mistakes. There are things that I just take a pencil and go through it. So the goal is for you to have a resource to support you as you are learning and evolving. So got that. And Jackie's Crystal Moon is here. Hello, Jackie. Robin, Toadstool Tarot, who was on my channel for some readings with the Spectra World Tarot on Saturday. Claire is here, Claire Telford, looking forward to the second part of hashtag Tarot the Stash Way. Second part of the majors, absolutely. Pamela Batchelor is here, hello. Hershey is here, hi Hershey. And, chat just jumped. JR is here, hi JR. Maruda is here, hi. Yeah, I like it too. Yes, be inspired. Absolutely. Susan Beckett is here. Hi, Susan. And one big universal hello to everyone is what Robin Toadstool Tarot sends. And early ritual, Tom is going to be in and out today. Work lurking. And here you go. That's why there's playback. So I will definitely try, and people will share comments in the chat, and I will try to put them on the screen so they're easier to follow. Jane the Seeker Tarot is here. Hello, Jane the Seeker. And guess what? Tomorrow is another Tuesdays with Tarot Stash exclusively on Jane the Seeker Tarot. So like and subscribe to her channel. Beth Espasia Rising is here. Iridescent Sea Designs. Hello. And Lisa is here. Hello. Leor Black. Oh, we've got a good class today. Good session. Oh, and Robin does bring up a good point. There are many free resources online. And one of the great things about the resources that are available, where'd that go? The thing that's important about the resources, find the ones that work for you. If they resonate with you, great. That should work. Explore lots of different views of the tarot. Annabelle Wen has a study outline on her website for the Holistic Tarot book. Yes, she does. Speaking of free resources, Annabelle Wen is extremely generous with her knowledge, and she does make a lot of things available for people. They're quite good. And okay, chat jumped, so I may have missed some people, and I just want to get through all of this. Flowing is here. Hello. I found some tarot books in the Hoopla Digital Library. Yes, check your library, because that's one of the things that I do is I like to look at a book before I purchase it. So it's a great way to do it. Calla Lizzie is here. Hello. Peter J. Watts is stopping in for a few minutes. Hello, Peter. Tony is here. Antoinette, Intuitive Tarot in Jewelry. Hello, hello. And okay. Discover Books has a good selection, and they have a bit of everything. I get my I think you're saying Brian Froud books there. So all right, so yeah, Jane the Secret Tarot is one finger typing. So Pierrette is here. So last time we finished with the Hierophant, and so we're picking up with the Lovers. And the Lovers is number 6, and I got some feedback, which I really appreciate. Somebody was wished that I would show cards while I talk about this. And I've made the conscious decision as I was talking about all of this and sharing Tarot the Stash Way that I wouldn't do that, because I want you to develop your own understanding of what the cards mean. And then you can actually connect your meaning with the image of the card. And that's a huge gift, because it's an opportunity, because if you know what the Lovers is about, then you can look at cards, in my opinion, and you can figure out which decks work for you visually, as well as inspiring you and reminding you of what the card means, if you need to do that, rather than that. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what I say. Seek professional assistance. Really, we all know that. So the Lovers card. The Lovers card is number 6 of the Major Arcana. And Major Arcana, as we talked about last time, are the big stories, the big life lessons. And these are significant. You can do readings with all Major Arcana or Arcana. That works. So when I do that, I have to get into the mindset for that. Toadstool Tarot Robin said, if you know the card, you can connect with any deck and not just think of what you saw in the RWS or the Marseille or the Thought. That is exactly right. I am a person who I appreciate learning different systems, because I think there's a good deal of overlap. So I think it's really great that more and more people give others permission to read the images and interpret them as an individual. I agree with you. So connect with it, or how, you know, what works for you. So um, Tony asked, are we still linking to numerology over RWS? I'm putting them all together. I'm doing lots of things with it. So that's a good question. Um, so the Lovers card, let's talk about the Lovers card. And the Lovers card is about love, surprise, and companionship. And companionship, it's about partnerships. And here's the thing, it's about all relationships, not just the romantic ones. It could be about friends and family, and it is about balance, because there needs to be a sharing of resources. And Robin beat me to it. Yes, sometimes it is about choice, and that is an important thing to remember. And in the Marseille, it's really about choice, and that's something that is really important when you look at the Lovers card, because there is a need to balance and sharing resources and sharing, and it's all right. Let's just so because the Lovers is there's two on this card, usually two or three people. Think of it as it's the other side of the Magician, where the Magician is all by themselves. Boom. And this is the Lovers card, is when we see the need to be with other people. And lovers are often people who have a life path of lovers often are uh, empathetic, and um, they the thing about the Lovers card is it is truly about balance, and it's a return to having harmony with those around you. And how much do you share when you see the Lovers card come up? And so I'm going to pause there and catch up on chat. So what do you think about when you look at the Lovers card, or when you think about the Lovers card? Tony says fusion is how I read too. I'm not one for single systems. And the only system that I'm really gung ho for, it's the one that I use, and I encourage you to have a system that you use and go gung ho with that. Michelle Marie Astrological Tarot is here. Hello. And Michelle Marie, I did respond to your email, and I hope you've got it. I will double check when we're done. Hershey asked, is it different to see it as a soul connection instead of lovers? So is it the word lovers that bothers you? And it's actually, I could see, oh, that's a good question. What would you name the Lovers card if you didn't want to use the term lovers? So, okay, getting caught up. Yes, choices that have long range ramifications for everyone. Thank you, Pamela. Yes, they're not just that one and done sort of thing. For me, Lovers is about really developing that companionship and that in those relationships. So um, I I think the Strange Branches deck, the Lovers is one person of self. Okay, pairing collaboration certainly could be. I have a 6 in my numerology chart. I think it's the personality number. Okay. Jane is Oh, kindly hit the like. Thank you, Jane. It's almost always choice for me. And I agree with that, Calla Lizzie, because when I understood, and I think it was Robin or Justin Michael or Chris from Elemental Cartomancy who really started to support me in my exploration of the Tarot de Marseille. It was, oh, the lovers is a choice. And that's still what is how I see it. It's a choice. Where am I going to put my energy to help find a balance? So Sherry H is here. Hello. I see the card as choices and integration of opposing ideas or emotions. Very nice. Very nice. Soul Connection would be a good alternate name for the card. Jackie's Crystal Moon says, I watch lots of YouTube videos and remember different views on cards. When I'm reading for someone, whatever meaning comes to mind or my intuition picks up is what I go with. Absolutely. Absolutely. Blending energies, yes. Zena's Place, intuitive card readings. Lisa is here. It's the one with Raphael. It's the lovers. You've got a thing with Raphael going lately. I would call it electricity. I could see that. Calla Lizzie is doing a lot of work with the Marseille. Excellent. Tony said, lovers is relationship of all types, not just life partners, also communication. Yes. Yes. Ms. Tarot D said, hi all. Does anyone happen to know why the original word lover was chosen for this card? I think I'm going to guess. I believe it's a progression, a life progression. And in some of the older cards, some of the older decks, we see definitely a choice, because is the person going to leave home and develop their own home, or are they going to stay at home? But Linda Kelzer is here. Self-love and balancing masculine and feminine energy. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, think about this is we've just passed the Hierophant, which is where we have rules and structures. And now we actually have, okay, people are playing together, they're being together. And so again, balance, relationships, it is about harmony and making sure that we have a harmony. And as Benabel Wynn says, a harmony of mind, body, and spirit. So keep that in mind. Warnings with the Lovers card. The Lovers card, when lovers tend to be, they play around. They like to have a lot of different partners. So you may see somebody moving jobs, developing different friendships. And it's also important when you're reading with somebody, in my opinion, that it's thinking about, okay, how much do I share with this person, or how much do I share with other people when I'm thinking about balance and partnerships? Because people who have bad experiences or challenging experiences with love, they may actually have a checklist of what they want their friends to have, what they want their partners to have, and ain't nobody going to live up to that. And so that's an important thing to keep in mind. So, okay. Hierophant conducts the wedding of the lovers, who are then off for their honeymoon in the chariot. Well, actually, yes. Yes. All I know about lovers is Adam and Eve and the burning bush and the tree of knowledge and making choices. Yep. So, okay. And Mr. Ritchie is here, Longman Tarot. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining in. Beth, Aspasia Rising, said, lovers, the application of rules, the Hierophant, into real life. The fool learns ramifications of making choices in life before acting, the Chariot. Okay. Love that. Love that. All right, so everybody turn your page. Let's get ready to talk about the Chariot. The Chariot, where we had love and companionship. We also had an idea of a bit of balance with the lovers because, let's get consensus and make sure that we have things going on. Oh, Genealogy Junkie is here. Hello. Good to see you. So the Chariot is truly about balance and harmony. And this is the Chariot for me is how we present ourselves in the world. How am I moving forward? And the Chariot is also a lot of times is the warrior spirit, maybe the bardic, with a bardic heart. And chariots, the idea of a chariot it's a way to move. You have something pull it and you have wheels that turn. And so when I see the Chariot, I also think about the Chariot is someone who is going to go over, around, they're going to get to where they want to go. And so they're going to work their way through obstacles. And Chariot sometimes it's a challenging card. It's not easy, but it is a card of success. So when a Chariot comes up, yes, you're going to make it. You're going to succeed. However, you may have to go through some things in order to get there. So there is, and let's face it, it's the 6 plus the 1, so it's the Lover's card plus the Magician. And this is also a card of let's move forward. Let's go, troops. Let's get to where we're going. But there is also in the Chariot the softness about what we don't necessarily see when the Chariot is going out there and rallying the troops. It's a 7, so it's a lucky number. And I think also with it being a 7, it is about knowledge and wisdom. And it's that, think about what you know. Think about what you know and what you're doing with that. I'm taking a look at my literally means movement. Could be the card of the military or really firm structures organized like that. Chariots have great gifts, and they need those great gifts because they also get great challenges. So there are great gifts that are available when you see a chariot. There's also great challenges. Chariots are people who are really savvy. They're good salespeople. So let's get caught up here in the chat. And that way I can take a sip. Okay. We forgot to mention that the Lover's card is generally overseen by an angel or heavenly presence. It's not just about the two figures. Sometimes and unseen influence or higher self is there. Absolutely. So there you go. The song. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby in the golden carriage. Ooh, the Chariot. Play hard, but keep on the right track. Yes. And with that, the charioteer, the person driving the chariot, it has to have great control. And this is where the balance and harmony comes in. They have to have great control and focus to get to where they're going. Because if the things pulling the chariot are not in sync, then you just sort of go boom, and it all just sort of craps out there. Learning how to get there, how to become yourself. Yes. Beth said, Chariot, my interpretation is taking control of outside forces so you can manifest your will. Very nicely said. Yes, and this is a 7-year, Jane. You are absolutely right. Calla Lizzie said, sevens are thinking cards, right? Robin said, for me, the chariot is about choices moving forward. Sometimes the wheels are wonky, or the horses are pulling in different directions, or the sphinxes just don't want to move. Yeah. And then confidence and control, yes. But also pay attention to for me, the chariot is about how do I want to appear in public. Claire Telford said, the force or energy that drives you. You hold the reins and steer the direction you want. Mm-hmm. Pamela Batchelor said the chariot is the last of the first 7 cards, so it is a triumph of sorts. Yes, it is. Very much. Balancing left brain and right brain activities. Very much. I could absolutely see that. Unfortunately, I have to ride my chariot out of here. Bye, Lisa. Good to see you. My favorite chariot card is in the Spark Tarot, a woman standing on the beach braiding the long strands of her hair together. Ah. Consideration of the road not taken. Yes. And this is one of those things that, in my opinion, the chariots, people who are chariots, or when the chariot shows up, um, chariots have chariots suggest that there are spirit guides or angels around, and they have a tendency to get information in their sleep. They may not understand it or why it happened, but they go to um, they may go to bed with a problem on their mind and then wake up with a solution, and it's because they've gotten help. So this is a card of leadership, good at negotiation and being a salesperson. Chariots also have the ability to, when they meet somebody, they get them. That's why they're good salespeople. That's why they're good negotiators. Um, and I mean, let's face it. If you if you're going somewhere and you want to get somewhere, the chariot, you're going to have to pull really hard, or you're going to have to focus on it. Here's a warning with the chariot: is sometimes chariots do the same thing the same way all of the time, so they get in a rut. And sometimes, the wheels of that chariot are difficult to get out of. So it is a challenge, and it's really important to pay attention to that. They could get lost in the idea of fantasy. And because this is a card of there's a lot of psychism that happens here. They get people. They get people. And maybe it's because of their spirit guides or something like that. But they could also get lost in a bit of fantasy, and then the chariot goes off track. So, yeah. What I find weird about the chariot is it is the card for Cancer. I don't know enough about astrology to add to that. Yes, Maruda, you have to keep your reins under control. I think aren't cancers very intuitive? And if they are, that would sync up with the idea of, as I said, they appear to be one way, but they have a soft underbelly. Cancer is cardinal, lots of drive. July is the 7th month. Yes. Teresa is here. Hello. Good to see you. Yes, they are intuitive. And that can be very helpful for for chariots. So, all right. Rider Waite describes the chariot as the triumph of the mind. He's a victorious hero on an external quest rather than an internal one. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I love that. All right. Everybody take a sip, and then we will move on to strength. I like, wait a minute. I like how people are interpreting as a person or situation. Mm-hmm. Sip is right. You have to hydrate. Keeps your brain good. So we've left the chariot and we are now at number 8, or strength. So and this, the idea of strength is it's the strength of spirit. And it can be physical strength, it can be emotional strength, it can be mental strength. This is a card that is oftentimes, for me, it's very projective and receptive at the same time. A strength card suggests that there's an internal fortitude to meet the goals. And they have attachments to life, like friends and things. And so, and keep in mind, as we talked about with the chariot, um, for me, when I see strength, it is really about perseverance. That's the first thing that comes through my mind. It does link to the Empress, and strength is also about normal bonds between a parent and a child. And strength does whatever it needs to do in order to uh, get done what needs to get done. And here's the thing. Here's something that I keep in mind when I see the strength is the strength card. It is about perseverance, and in this situation, the person is going to find the one good thing about a challenging situation and focus on that. And then that way, they're going to keep showing up and keep doing the work that needs to be done. The challenge is when the environment or the situation changes, sometimes the strength is so focused on getting done what needs to get done, they don't take a step back and look to see that the situation has changed. So it's an 8, so it is a card of mastery. And this is where, think, if we go from 1 to 10, you're almost to the 10. And so you're working on things. This is a card of mastery. So for when strength shows up, it's a good idea to do some networking, and stick with it. I'm going to pause for a moment and go and see chat. Okay. Lovers take the chariot on the honeymoon. After the honeymoon comes the first fight, which takes strength to get through. Yeah. Life path has certainly required strength to walk. Yeah. And inner strength and perseverance. Yes. In some decks, the strength card is called fortitude. I like that. Mastering your own inner beast. Yes, very much so. Very much so. Um, so as I said, there is a lot of perseverance with strength, and they find the one good thing to focus on, and then they stick with that, even though the situation has changed a bit. Um, when reading for an artist of any kind, this is the artist mastering their craft. And this is also the card of creating things of value and getting paid for it. So, someone in a strength card, there's something about this is sometimes they hold on too long. They hold on to friendships, relationships, jobs that just aren't working for them. And so if we think about the eight, which is two fours, there's an expansion. And so the strength suggests perhaps making, um, broadening that understanding. I sort of clicked there for a second. And so it is also important with strength to make sure you have decent boundaries, because somebody who holds on to things far too long, they have attachments, they have ties, they lose their focus of where they want to go. Strength may be one who needs to do the uh, cord cutting to remove the energy. So, all right, more people have come in. Coyote the Gray is here. Hello, Coyote. In a couple of weeks, I will be reading with Coyote in the evening. Robin asks, what do you think about the change in order of the strength card and why it's sometimes switched with justice? Okay. I mean, I think I don't know enough about that, Robin. That's a really good question. I do pay attention to that because most of the time I read with a Waite Smith deck, which has the strength as 8 and justice as 11. But Tarot de Marseille and a lot of other decks, they have it reversed. They have strength as 11 and justice as 8. I can make an argument for each of them. So maybe that oh, here you go. Maybe that's another conversation for Tarot the Stashway. A need not to need to be the center of attention, showing off. From what I know, the Golden Dawn, wait, swap them to fit the zodiac order. Yes, that is what I understand with that as well. Jackie's Crystal Moon said, my beautiful 11-year-old boy handed me a hot cup of tea. Sip, sip, peeps. Well, that must be good parenting, Jackie. Well done. What about taming that inner roar? Maybe holding back a little before you say something you can't take back. Claire, that is always a good thing. I think that's always a good thing. And I hope I didn't. Okay, somebody else said something. Michelle Marie said, I love that the woman in the Rider-Waite strength card leads around a lion with a sweet yoke of flowers. It connects to in consentia involata, strength in contemplation. And I have mispronounced that. Doesn't bother me anymore. Calla Lizzie said the switch. So, yeah, very good parenting. There you go. So, there we go. All right. Let me take a sip and see if there's anything else that I need to say. What do you, I mean, you're all giving really nice thoughts about it. What do you see? What do you remember about the strength card? And I hope, I hope that when I share this, I'm helping to say, here are the things that could be really helpful about the strength card or this card, but there's also here some things when it's not in a good balance or and it's not good. So, um, oftentimes here, let's think about this strength. Love is a source of strength. Don't forget that. And there is we've left the chariot and we go to strength. So it's the start of a challenge. So there is a direct connection because to the chariot, because the chariot and the strength both have a tenacity about them. So, all right, beautiful things here in chat. Thinking of strength, how has Leo moon affected everyone? I noticed a lot of loud voices out there. What? I think the switch may have been only relevant if you're dealing with numerology, perhaps. Jane the Seeker said, I love the strength in the Sawyer's Path. It's so sweet. Jackie's Crystal Moon said, forgiveness is a word I've often heard. Having strength to forgive. Having strength to forgive, to release the ties? Absolutely. Michelle Marie, Astrological Tarot, said 8 is connected to Saturn, the karmic teacher in astrology. He rules strength through struggle and supports justice. So that's actually a really nice connection there. Beth Aspasia Rising said, I won't get a deck where strength is shown with brutality. I don't like seeing it, and it isn't how I read it. Yeah. And again, this is where everybody, when you have an understanding of what the cards mean, I'm hoping that you're getting more comfort with looking at the cards and picking, oh, this reads well for me. It strikes something. Robin said, also, strength is not a one-shot thing. Like number 8, which turns on the side, is eternity. We need to remain strong throughout our whole journey. You might want to write that down, people. That's a good one. Ooh, Ivana Intuitive is here. Thanks for stopping by and hitting the thumbs up. And in a couple of weeks, Ivana is going to be doing readings with me on my channel. When you turn 8, turn the 8, Robin, you get balance, just like justice. Yeah. I think it does after Alter the Fool's Journey a bit. Okay. I don't like the brutality and some strength, but can deal with the depiction. So, all right. So strength is a card of attachment. I'm not sure if I said that before. But again, I want people, for me, perseverance is something that always comes up for me. So now we move on to 9, the number 9. Number 9, number 9, number 9. Does anybody get that reference, that musical reference? Oh, Leor Black said, yeah, it's inner strength too. Definitely. So we move to the Hermit. The Hermit, number 9. Yep, Robin got it. The Beatles. Yep, the Beatles' White Album. Thank you. I knew people would get it. Beatles' White Album. Yes. Yeah, if y'all haven't listened to the Beatles' White Album, give it a listen. And listen all the way through. It's pretty incredible. The number 9, when we think about this, is the Hermit. This is the card of meditation and contemplation. And so when we think about the path that we've gone through, so in just this is where we've we've gotten partnerships, we've gotten in the chariot, we've gotten into strength. The hermit now is the okay. What I've created now, I need a little bit of a break. And so this is the card for time for oneself and time to work on oneself, because the previous cards have been a lot about partnership and doing other things with people. So, um, the hermit is built to acquire lots of little bits of information. By the way, surprise, I am a life path moon, a soul path hermit, so I'm a moon hermit. Hence, I like books. I like to collect things. They hermits like to collect things, knowledge, experience. And when the hermit shows up, this is a card for me that says they need to work on something that is just for them. And it's one of those things, because they've been spending so much time on everybody else. It's like, ooh, it's a struggle there. All right, let's say hi to some people. Yes, Beatles. Mama Bear is here. Hi, Mama Bear. Dear Prudence, one of the best songs ever. Just saying. Yep. Oh yeah, the hermit could be go your own way. Yes, that's true. Virgo, perfectionist, seeker, introvert, achiever. Do you see any correlation between the high priestess and the hermit? Both seem solo seekers. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. And I also see a great deal of connection with the hermit and the moon. Hermits need a lot of information from lots of sources. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Would it be fair to say if the Emperor 4 and the Hierophant 5 were amalgamated to 9, this is the Hermit as a whole? Claire, I like how you're thinking about that. And I'm going to have to think about that. I think that's, yeah, because the Emperor is the one who, okay, this is what we're going to do, and here are the boundaries. And the Hierophant is the one who creates the rules and the structures. I could definitely see that. Ms. Tarot D says the hermit always reminds me of a midlife crisis. I want to know more about that, Ms. Tarot D. Why? This is so the 9. It's the and I'm just curious, Ms. Tarot D. You don't have to write it all in. But the 9 is this is another name for the hermit is the seeker. So they just need to understand. So when the hermit comes up, it's a card about seeking information and wanting and a desire to understand. It's also related to academia because of this. They just need to understand. So it is the 4 and the 5. So it is the Emperor and the Hierophant together. This is the card of manifestation for me. And it's also the card of independence. Sometimes the hermit, depending upon where it shows up in a reading, it could be extremely independent. It could also appear antisocial, but that's not the case at all. They're soaking information in the way that works for them. It is associated with Virgo, yes. Here, okay, and I can say this for me is because I am a hermit is I compartmentalize a lot of things. So hermits, as I said, they want to get a lot of information about a variety of things. So I put all of those things in boxes or I put them in a book. The challenge is when that happens is that they're on the shelf, but they're not necessarily being accessed. And so it's an important thing to not to lessen the power of the hermit by giving too much attention elsewhere. Hermits will sometimes, they won't get a deep dive. They'll get just a higher level something. So, all right. In the tarot class, a girl pulled Hermit, and in position of the spread, it came to me as her reading to find someone to guide her forward. Yes, very nice. Very nice. The Hermit for me is both looking for the way and lighting the way for self and others. This is what we're talking about. When you understand the card, then you can look and allow the visuals to help you. Beth Esposito Rising said, I was a journalist for years, and gathering information to hopefully shine some light. Yeah. So, and okay, getting caught up. Yeah, Jackie, that's right. You're teaching a tarot class. I remember that. Hermiton reading these last years has indicated depression and loneliness. Absolutely, Tony. That could certainly be that way, because when someone spends too much time, they feel disconnected. And especially because it was a forced isolation, that really yeah, it comes into play. Intuition knowing, because you just know. Yes. Yes. As I talked about, that hermits, they acquire a lot of different, they like to acquire things, and that could actually be a problem. They could be hoarders. They could be perhaps have a stack of composition books that is taller than he is, and if they were to fall over, he would be trapped under it. I don't know who you're talking about. I like to say, go within to shine your light. Ooh, that's a nice visual. I love the Hermit. Nines are humanitarians. My friend Amy gifted me a beautiful print of her Hermit, which I adore. The Hermit reminds me to stay in the present moment. His gaze remains at his feet. I found out a new meaning of the Hermit from the Swirl Tarot the other day. Go within and organize your views. Examine, is this the Spectro Whirl that you're talking about, Leor? And go within and organize your views. Examine everything. See within yourself clearly. I do like that. And Ms. Tarot D got back. It's time to stop, reevaluate, and take new roads to new adventures. As mentioned earlier, the previous cards were relationship to other. The Hermit is about stopping and finally doing for oneself. Not sure if you explained it extremely well, Ms. Tarot D. And this is what happens to many of us after we are done taking care of others and reach a point in life where we tend to reevaluate what we have done and what we want to do. Yes. Yes. Maruda said, I have Virgo rising and 9 maturity number. I have been isolated since COVID started, except for online, and not really bothered by it. Yeah. Not normally for me, Robin, but it's just seems to pop out that way. I used to see it as a great going within journey and a card. Yeah, isolation comes up. Oh, Crystal Hoarder here. I mean, I get it. So does Longman Tarot. Not calling you out. Just called you out. Love you. Shadow. I think hermits can be a bit know-it-all. I've got a friend like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it is one of those things that when you think about it with the numerology, it is about spiritual ascension, the nines. I mean, and on the journey of 1 to 10, you're almost there. You just have to keep going forward. And definitely time for taking care of your inner needs. The thing that we all need to do, and sometimes we don't, because there is so much going on and so many things are drawing our attention. It can be challenging. Purple Elephant Deb H is here. Hello. Um, the Hermit in Tarot much has, uh, Tarot Mook has the figure embracing the light. I take that as both a thirst for knowledge and a desire to shine the light from within. Yeah, that's beautiful. Deb H, the next time I see you, I need to see that that line. She is sick lurking, still sick. Aw. So let me make sure that I've gotten everything. So a hermit needs to carve time out for self, time to work on their private projects. By the way, hermits are really good project managers because they see the parts of that project as the big picture. They see the big picture and understand it, but then how all the pieces fit together. They are built to acquire things, and I have been told that it is a card of manifestations. So if you need something, hermits are actually able to really make it happen. Hermits are also the ones, it's like many of you have said, they need to have something within them that makes their light shine so they can shine the light for others. Oh, and Practical Mystic Carol said, the fool, the hermit is the fool grown up. That's interesting. Okay. Beth said, I'm a Virgo hermit and I relate. Yeah. So hard to manifest. They are not antisocial. Sometimes they're just extremely independent. Extremely independent. And there, okay, so there's a lot of really wonderful things. Here's the things about hermits that might not be so nice. They're willing to share information, but not necessarily. They have to get along. They have to get along with you. And they can be, with being so independent, it can actually cause people not to like them. Now, again, the hermit, I like to think of the hermit as the alchemist because they're going to be the ones who are going to research, they're going to see how all the pieces and parts work together. So you could also consider that as well. Hermit seems like the first time the fool pauses for consideration along his journey. I would say so, because then once there's the pause, then we go into the 10. Michelle Marie said, so true, Gerald. If you look at the synastry, the number 9 becomes the other number it's added to. Yes. 2 plus 9 equals 1 or 2. 3 plus 9 equals 12 or 3. Yep, you're right. 4 plus 9 equals 13. And that's the thing when you look at patterns from the Mary K. Greer stuff, 9s work well with lots of people because they become that number again. So introspection and integration. Yeah, very much so. All right, I have been on for 59 minutes. I think, do you want to do the wheel and then we'll pick up with justice tomorrow? Because yes, there is another Tarot the Stashway. It's going to be tomorrow. I am completely wanting to get through this so that we have that. TMI, the Hermit, being extremely independent can cause problems in love and marriage. I don't see the need to discuss. I just did. Yeah. Interesting. I just found out that I am a moon hermit. Makes so much sense. Oh, Ms. Tarot D, me too. We should talk. We should talk. Okay, more Tarot the Stashway. All right. So, oh, Jane the Seeker said you can do your 9 times table on 2 hands, and I'll show you tomorrow. Really? Can I do that on my tiny hands, Jane? Does it matter? Okay, and Robin says the wheel feels to me like the hermit has been moping too long and just decides to say, F it, let's just spin the wheel and see what happens. Oh my. All right, so let's do the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune. The tens are about transformation, remember that. And it's time to move on to the next phase of your life. And you've done, we've gone through the Fool to the Hermit, and now it's time to move. So this card is about moving on and starting a new beginning. So when we think about the Wheel of Fortune, we are the Wheel of Fortune is it's the randomness of the universe. It represents all of the things that I can't control in life. And it's also reminds us that the seasons change, that things are cyclical. So for me, when I look, I mean, this is just for me, you do you. When the wheel turns up, it's sort of well, I don't exactly know what's going to go on because things are going to show up that are unexpected. The tip is in the name, however. Oftentimes, the things that show up are fortunate. It's the Wheel of Fortune. So those things will show up and they'll actually give us a slightly new direction to help us. And it could save us time. It could earn us money. It could help us meet new people that are going to help. And so it is very cyclical, and it reminds me that the wheel shows up. It is actually it's oh yeah, Jackie's Crystal Moon said yes, divine timing. Divine timing, yeah. And yes, it's chance. hmm Good luck trying to tell the universe what you want it to do because it'll just show up. Oh, Ms. Teradi says, I feel like I'm getting a personal reading today. The Strength, Hermit, and the Wheel are just what I'm going through at the moment. I can see that, yeah. All right. Let me take a sip because I'm like, got to the wheel. This is also, it represents the ups and downs of life. And a wheel can be challenging for a magician because it's 10, and if you reduce 10 to a single digits, it's 1. It can be challenging because the magician doesn't like not to have control. Chris, Elemental Cartomancy is here. Hello, Chris. Hello. And Beth said, I'm always relieved when I get the Wheel of Fortune in my readings for myself. I think I audibly sigh with relief. I can hand over the reins. That's nice. Cool. Chris wants to know how everybody's Monday's going. It's going great because they're spending time with Tara the Stashway with me. Sorry, I had to. Oh, Joe is here. Hi, Joe. Good to see you. Robin said, think of Vegas and the gambler's wheel. The Wheel of Fortune is taking a chance. Yes. A magician does not like to not have control. Absolutely. Hi, Kiba. Good to see you. All right, let's see what we've got. So, the Wheel of Fortune. Lots of there you go. I got called Gerlod. I love it. So these are things outside of our control, and most of the time it's fortunate. And in a reading, it's oftentimes a black hole because we don't have information. And it can represent the environment of the person for which you are reading. It could also represent a reincarnation. It's definitely a change. These are the ups and downs of life. And let's face it, I mean, life is always changing, always moving. And so if I were to look at timing, it could actually be that it takes a full year to do something. I've heard people talk about someone getting a new car when they see the wheel. Oh, well, I could see that. Joe, it's funny because Gerlod is, it's perfect because Kelly's husband calls me Sir Gerlod, and I get that a lot. It just makes me, it sounds funny. Ooh, maybe the next time I'm on with Kelly, I'll have some nights up. So tune in. Tune in. Maybe also closing out a chapter of good or bad luck. Absolutely, Leor. I could see that. I could see that. And here you go. Robin said, Jackie's Crystal Moon. You made me consider a comparison between the wheel and the chariot, because they both have circles and they're not going to move if they're not if they're not completely round. So yes, Sir Gerlod, you heard it here first, people. For me, the thing that I notice is, again, for entertainment purposes only, you do you. Sometimes for me, when this shows up, um, it means that uh, my health could be affected by the seasons, and I know mine is. So, all right, roller coaster. Things always change. I don't have control over the universe. Um, Almost always represents good fortune. It could be a windfall of money. So, and I also think about with okay, so oftentimes the wheel, and I got this. Um, I don't remember where I got this, but somebody was talking about it. Is if you win, the wheel, and if you are on the outside of the wheel, you are impacted more strongly than if you are in the center of the wheel. So if you're in the center of the wheel, you still feel it, but it's not as discombobulating. But if you're on the outside of that wheel, those turns are really, really tough. And so when the wheel shows up, it is a reminder for me to suggest to people that they take a bit of time to center themselves and get to the center of the wheel, because when all of those changes happen, it's going to be not as dramatically impactful on them. So, oh, you're welcome, Claire. Thank you. I've enjoyed your thoughts and those in the chat. Notes noted, and look forward to the next episode, which is tomorrow. So, the hermit holds up his lamp to find the gambling house, in the next card, the wheel. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Cycle of things, along with the moon. Yes. The wheel is called Fortune Cookie on the mood deck. Go ahead, take a bite. Marseille cards show figures falling from the wheel or being crushed by it, as well as rising to fame. Message, hold on for dear life. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay, so tomorrow at 4, we'll pick up with justice. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Beth said, also, sometimes persistence creates resistance. When you see the wheel, often you must surrender your ego and go with the flow. Absolutely. That's true. That's true. So before I head off, are there questions that you have about the Lover's card, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, or the Wheel of Fortune? Thanks for being here, Jackie. So we will definitely pick up there tomorrow with Justice. So I'm trying to think of how many I can get through. So, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're actually we're meeting tomorrow, and we're going to at it'd be your 9 p.m. GMT, and it's we'll start with Justice, and we might get through to Temperance, or I don't know. I want to spend time with it, but I don't want to rush it. So, oh, you're welcome, Joe. You're very welcome. It's Justice that we have to wait till tomorrow for Justice. There you go. There you go. You're welcome. Thanks, Beth. So, Lisa will watch the playback since missed so much. That's why they're there. That is why they're there. So, um, and definitely, if you can, please give a thumbs up, like and subscribe, leave a comment. It lets me know, and it lets YouTube know that you like. If you have taken 2 episodes to go through the first 11, then my guess is 2 more episodes for the rest of the majors. Could be. Yes, you're right. And so I have 1 more tomorrow, and I have 1 toward the end of the month. Good point. So, yep. See you, Coyote. All right. Everybody, take care. Thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. You're why I do it. So, thanks so much. Bye, Iridescent. Bye, all.